Hey everyone, if you are interested in erasing years off your look, stay tuned. I have tons and tons of tips and tidbits to show you while I walk you along doing my mom's makeup. So I'm starting off with, it's called Fake Bake, I think is what it's called. I got this from Amazon.com. It was fairly cheap. I think the price range is like in the teens, so I mean it's more expensive than the drugstore, but it's definitely much better and well worth the money spent. And the reason why I'm putting this on her is because it's going to give her kind of like a healthy glow, definitely without making her look orange. So a healthier glow means younger looking skin. So that is what I'm starting with. Also, as kind of a tidbit before we get started, for most of your products you definitely want to opt for creams instead of powders, except for on the eyes. Now we're using her moisturizer. This is an anti-wrinkle cream moisturizer. This is definitely an optional step. I would recommend using a moisturizer, but it does not have to be an anti-wrinkle moisturizer. Also, these tips work for anybody too. I mean, this does not have to be like a solely only mature skin video. I mean, these tips are pretty good for anybody. Notice that I am patting underneath the eyes. You want to be very, very gentle around the eye area. And you want to try not to pull and tug around that area. This is my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And this, I think, is a very, very important step. If you do not have Urban Decay or you cannot get it available to you, I know that L'Oreal has an eyeshadow primer out there. I don't know how comparable it is to the Urban Decay, because this is definitely my most favorite eyeshadow primer, but you know, you can definitely try out the L'Oreal, and I know e.l.f. makes a really good eyeshadow primer too that you can get at Kmart and you can get at eyeslipsface.com. They're like $1. And I'm extending it below the eyes, trying to be as gentle as I can, not to pull on the skin, but just patting. This will help the concealer not settle into lines. I'm starting off with this taupey brown color. I prefer a taupey brown over a warmer brown because a warmer brown has a redder hue to it and it might accentuate any redness that you have in your eyes. Mature eyes tend to have a little bit more redness around the eyes and the nose area, so a taupey brown will counteract that, as well as like any kind of sage type colors will counteract that as well, and you know, look a little bit more young. I am contouring her eyes with her eyes open because she has hooded eyes, so that's kind of a tidbit if you have hooded eyes. It helps you to find the crease a little bit better because the crease can be deceiving. Your actual crease is not going to match the crease that you want to contour on hooded eyes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This is just a champagne shimmery type brown color, or a light brown creamy color. And I'm putting that just on the lower lids, and now I'm blending it out. It's okay to use a slight shimmer on your lower lids. Always stick with matte in your crease. And then if you're going to ever use a frosty color, I would only use that on a highlight that you'll see here in just a moment. When you're doing eyeshadow, do not extend beyond the eye. Keep it inside. Make an imaginary line from the corner of your eye to the tip of your eyebrow, and you want to try to keep as much of the shadow within that line as possible. That's going to lift your eye, and anything outside that line can make it look, you know, drooped down a little bit. This is more of a frosty white color. It's not too frosty, it's just a little shimmery, but it's okay to use as a highlight. This is another way to make the eye look more lifted, and it's going to lift the brow. And this is my Macleod line, and I'm using a little artist brush. And I prefer using this because With a gel liner, you can smudge it out and make it look softer. With a liquid liner, once it's on, it's pretty much on. You can't really smudge out a liquid liner, or at least not a good one. And with a pencil liner, it's more of a dry formula, so it's going to pull on the eyes a little bit more. And when you're using a gel liner with a brush like this, you don't have to pull the eye taut to apply it. You can just paint it on, and it goes on very nicely. So I would definitely, if you don't already use a gel liner, definitely switch to one. Next, we're going to open up her eyes and make her eyes look more youthful by making them look bigger and brighter. And I'm starting with this white eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to line her waterline. Now I'm just going back to the contour color that I put on her eyes in the crease, and I am just lightly dabbing that where her eyelash line is. That's just to give it a little bit more definition, and this is also going to kind of accentuate where her bottom line of her eyes are, and it's going to make them look bigger and rounder. So you only want to go like halfway across. You definitely don't want to go all the way across. Just make sure that you don't make this too dark, because it can accentuate some dark circles underneath the eyes, so you just want to lightly define. Next, I'm going to be taking a frosty shimmery color, and I'm going to be dabbing this into the corners of the eyes for a little bit of a highlight. This will also brighten and open up the eyes. You can tone this down and it will have the same effect if you don't feel comfortable using a frosty color, but this is the only place that I would use something frosty. Curling your eyelashes makes a huge difference. It's going to open up your eyes, and it's going to make them look way more awake than if you were to not curl them. So I definitely suggest investing in a nice eyelash curler and using it on a daily basis, or anytime you put your makeup on. These are all techniques to open up her eyes, make them big and doe-like, and that big bright-eyed kind of look, because bigger and brighter eyes equal younger looking eyes. And then I'm finishing off her eyes with a mascara. And just to give her eyelashes a little bit more oomph, I'm going in with a volumizing on top of that. This is one by Revlon. Any mascara that has like the hard rubbery bristles is definitely good for volumizing and can layer quite nicely on top of a lengthening mascara. And I'm concentrating the volumizing around the base of the lashes just to give more volume without making them look too clumped. Now I'm just applying mascara on her lower lashes, and as an extra tidbit for mascara, using the blackest black of mascaras that you can possibly find is going to accentuate the whites of your eyes, and it's going to make your eyes look more bright and more youthful if you can, make the whites of your eyes look brighter. So that's an extra tidbit. A lot of people don't think that black mascaras are very flattering on mature skin, but I think it looks just fine. There's not a huge difference between black and brown. Brown does look softer, so you can definitely use what you want, but I think the blackest black is better. These are just some individual lashes that I'm using with my duo glue, and I'm popping just a few of them in the center. Putting a few eyelashes above the pupil in the center of your eye is another way to really open up the eyes and really give that doe-like effect. So this just opened up her eyes and accentuated the roundness of her eyes. So always remember that big round eyes equal younger looking eyes. Now I'm taking a taupey brown color and I'm going to fill in and make her eyebrows look thicker and fuller. Another tidbit for looking younger is thicker, fuller eyebrows. You obviously don't want to overdo it. You want to go within, what looks flattering on you, but try to darken them and thicken them up just a little bit and extend the tail as well as the inner corner like I am doing. Now stay tuned for part 2 where we will finish up the rest of the face.